hang on, that's not my opening screen. Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamac. This is Limbus Company Arc Knights crossover. We have 1 gigabyte. Of course we have 1 gigabyte worth of download. Why was I surprised in the slightest? So yeah, the crossover's here. We have Ego, and we have more Ego. They didn't give us IDs because they worry about IDs going out of date. I think the thing that I hate the most about Limbus Company is that it's on the mindset of identities should only be viable for a while. They should be power creep. I hate that idea. I especially hate it in comparison with how the latest Kanto went, where every single identity is blunt weak. Well, maybe not every identity, but the majority are, and the majority are on a new power tier. And the majority of fights are also on a new power tier, meaning that they've outclassed a majority of the content. I feel like you shouldn't have content that I feel like the content shouldn't have a shelf life, but what do I know? I apparently know nothing about gachas. I miss the times where you just paid for a game up front and you had everything you needed. We've started getting to the point where games are given to you for free, but all the fun is stuff you have to pay for, and you end up paying more for the game overall than if you had just paid once. And I say this as the sort of person who's easily manipulated by these sorts of tactics. Because they just have to win once. And then before you know it, you've spent the entire week's grocery fees on game. Useless digital content. But alright, I don't think we're going to tackle story this episode, because chances are I'm going to spend it looking at the ego and the numbers. Would people be interested in seeing me do reaction videos to the Limbus Company daily check-ins? Oh hey, a ticket. Can be used to perform 10 extractions where one identity is guaranteed to be 3-star. So then, let's see. No, leave the boxes alone. We're probably going to need that for content. I did not collect this morning's anchor fill-in. So yeah, let's check the extractions. Title Elegy Ishmael can only be obtained as the event reward. Everything else is here. It's a good thing I stockpiled on a lot of tickets and lunacy. I wonder if we'll see anything new. Or rather, things that I've gotten through dispenser rather than... yeah, if we'll see things I've gotten through the dispenser rather than through the extraction, because apparently that gives extra starlight buffs. The thing is that there's now a very large amount of 3 stars in the game, so even in the rare occasion I do get a 3-star, oh whoops, it's something I already own. Actually, do the fancy new egos, okay, and now we jump into lunacy extractions. Oh, shiny. Dicey Rodion, of course. Oh, now here's something shiny. I was wondering, are they going to look different when they arrive? Yes. Yes, they are.
아득한 여정, 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
And this is why I'm recording, so we can come back to this for all time. Because these things are limited. They aren't coming back. 300 Starlight! Sweet. This week I'm going to have to do my Mirror Dungeon Extreme run. Well, that's just cheeky, isn't it?
흐릿한 등화, 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 한획, 용이 되어 빈 도로에 남았구나.
And that's another 300 Starlight. Cool. So much Rhodian. The way it suddenly turns one into a gold extraction makes me think of Final Fantasy XIV's roulette dungeons. When you use a treasure map, there's a chance of it. When you use roulette dungeons, there's a chance.
눈부시지 않다고 두려워하지 마라.
So when you do roulette dungeons, there is a chance that the dungeon will. When you do treasure maps, there's a chance of summoning a roulette dungeon. You have to fight your way through there. Every floor you pick a left door or a right door. One will block your way forward, the other will let you go forward. And the thing is that the you picked wrong action animation will sometimes play on the correct door, and it's only at the very last second that suddenly, oh no, this was actually the right one, and it's such a cheap trick. We do not need to invest any more lunacy in this, do we? 11 pools and we have everything. Alright, so let's have a closer look at all this. First of all, Forced Seago. Command Meltdown. If the targets burn or rupture, final power +1. 14 plus 13. Before attack, deal extra damage for all the rupture, potency, and count on the target. Gain hardened shell barrier. Heal self and one ally with the least HP percentage by 15% of this unit's max HP. If at max HP, then heal 2 other allies instead. Heal 10 SP for 2 allies, including this unit, with the lowest SP, 20 SP. It does have a positive offense level. It has about 3 attack weight. It rolls a 27. That's actually better than Fluid Sac, but it's not that much in the way of SP. But maybe it improves. Command Meltdown. Oh, Kaltzit. Is that the name of the character? I don't know. At 4 plus highest resonance, gain attack weight, gain 4 hardened shell barrier, gain stack divided by 3 defense level up to maximum of 3 rounded down. Immediately before getting hit, consume half of the hardened shell barrier, gain protection equal to the amount consumed. At turn end, lose 3 stacks, maximum of 10 stacks. Kinda cheeky, isn't it? This skill damage did not stagger or kill anyone. Take HP damage equal to 20% of this unit's HP. Gain shield HP equal to the HP damage taken due to this. This doesn't kill the unit. Max out the hardened shell stack barrier. Oh. Okay. On hit, inflict rupture. It's an unbreakable coin twice after, inflict a burn. But it's not the burn tied to the coin not cracking, it seems. And we don't have passives. Okay, show me what the progress third spin gives me. Doctor. Turn start. Heal self and one ally with the lowest HP percentage by hardened shell barrier. Stack percent of this unit's max HP. Heal 2 allies with the lowest HP percentages instead. So... I think that the way that they're planning on challenging Fluid Sac is that rather than trying to challenge Fluid Sac's SP recovery, which is just not going to happen, they're trying to challenge its health healing by having it managed over time. Oh, also, 1 Sloth, 2 Pride, 5 Gluttony. Perfect stats for... It's perfect for the Zelu Forced identity. The problem is that Zelu Forced is also preferable for using Thorakalgia to support other people with poise. If the healing receiving units are at 25% or lower, increase healing effect by 1.5. If the last ego skill forced used during this command encounter was Command Meltdown, lose only 1 stack of shell barrier at turn end. This activates in the same turn the ego skill is used. That's good to know. So, she can have this going for 10 turns. Okay, what's the next uptie? Command Meltdown. It doesn't look like it's affecting her coin power. Final power +2 if target has burn or rupture. Deal extra damage for everybody. Multiply this effect and its maximum cap by 1.5. Confusing. Oh wait, after attack. Gain 4 shell barrier or gain 7 shell barrier. Heal self and 1 ally by 20% of max HP. Or heal 2 other allies instead. Let's be fair, Gluttony is going to be way easier to get our hands on than Pride will be, so it strongly leans towards Zelu Forced. But at the same time, Poise. Heal 10 SP for 2 allies including this unit with the lowest SP, inflict more rupture and burn. If main target has 6 rupture, apply urgency plus count. Base power +1. Oh man, that's a pathetically low number, isn't it? 2 + 3. That's barely a skill 2. Gain 7 shell barrier. Or max out shell barrier. And gain damage up next turn. Inflict rupture, rupture count, and burn. Command Meltdown upgraded. Okay, now here's the actual number that I wanted to see. Forced finally has an ego that can break 30. If main target has burn or rupture, final power +3, so she actually rolls a flat 20 on this ego. Up to 33, and it's about time. Multiply effect by 2. After attack, gain 10 hardened shell barrier. Heal self and 1 ally. Heal 15 SP for 2 allies. Gain 10 hardened shell barrier. After attack, why is it saying max out hardened shell barrier at turn? Okay, if it says max out hardened shell barrier at turn end, then that means her taking attacks after using this will deplete some of her stacks of hardened shell barrier, but it's going to come back at full power at the end of the turn. Inflict a rupture, inflict 2 rupture count. Coin start. If this skill's damage did not stagger or kill any target, deal more damage. Sadly, my thread spin token isn't around anymore, so I have to do all these manually. Alright, so now we have to Remain Oneself. On use, gain 2 poise. A 5 potency plus poise count, final power plus 1. If this unit has Thunderer, deal 15% damage. If this unit has High Thunderer, deal 27% damage. Gain 5 Thunderer after the attack. Or if they had Thunderer or High Thunderer, consume all of it and gain High Thunderer. This unit has Thunderer, which they won't have before the attack. Deal poise potency divided by 2% damage on critical hit. If this unit has High Thunder, deal poise plus poise count divided by 2% damage on critical hit to a maximum of 30%. So you'd need more poise and poise count. Oh wait. Poise potency divided by 2. Poise potency plus poise count. And then it is a sinking ego. 1 sloth, 2 gloom, 4 pride. To Remain Oneself, 2 plus 3. Unbreakable coins, of course. But before attack, if this unit has Thunderer or High Thunderer, coin power plus 1. Keep in mind that coin power bonuses can actually override can override unbreakable coins being shattered, so it is going to still kind of hurt. It's also plus 5 offense level, so it is going to hurt. After attack, gain 5 Thunderer. If this unit has Thunderer or High Thunderer, consume all of it and gain 5 High Thunderer. Deal pride damage by 10% of the damage dealt. Deal pride damage by 15% of the damage dealt. Why is there a cap of 10 and 15? This is not giving us much longevity, you know. This unit has Thunder! Deal poise potency divided by 2% damage on critical hit. High Thunderer is poise potency plus count. So that's 40 poise potency and then 80 poise potency plus count. These are very high numbers, so I'd only expect them in high poise teams. Inflict 1 sinking, deal pride damage by 25% of damage dealt. Turn end. Among ego resources you consume to use Remain Oneself. Sloth, Gloom, Pride. Gain 1 ego resource of the least owned affinity. So does this mean that this will refund itself eventually? Is this earned over time, or is this earned only until you've paid off the use of the skill? I can't tell. Deal 1% for every Thunderer or High Thunderer lost or consumed in this encounter, to a maximum of 15%. So this feels basically like budget poise potency. So is Writ, an ode to wine. On use, gain 3 poise, final power for every poise potency plus count. Gain attack weight and deal 15% more damage if we have Thunderer. Gain 2 attack weight and deal 27%. Hang on. 1 attack weight. Right, Fluid Sac is 5 attack weight, so that's one advantage it has over Command Meltdown. But okay. 5 attack weight. 6 attack weight. Gain Thundering, or replace it with High Thunderer. Gain offense level and defense level, lose a stack to a maximum of 5. I think you'd be able to, after you've done it the first time, it should refund enough of itself that you can use it again. So this ego might actually be kind of spammable. Ignoring SP costs, naturally. 20% cap. So that's 40. And then 80. 2 sinking. I guess being a combo ego is actually pretty good. This inflicts rupture and burn. And this inflicts rupture and burn. So yeah, combo egos I think are better because in mirror dungeons they gain a bigger attack bonus. And this is a combo of poise and sinking. Gain poise and poise count. If this unit has Thunderer or High Thunder, gain attack weight, base power, and coin power. Gain Thunderer or replace it. Deal pride damage by percent dealt, maximum of 30%, maximum of 60%, inflict more sinking and deal more pride. Alright, so we raise the base power to 10. Final power for every poise, potency, and count. If this unit does not have Thunder or High Thunder, recuperate half of the ego resources and SP consumed by the skill, roll rounded down. That's impressive. So you're going to need the full resources to actually get it, but you'll get 1 gloom and 2 pride back. Which means you should have enough to reuse it by the next, before you run out of Thunder. Thanks to the passive. If this unit has Thunder, gain attack weight and deal 25% damage. At High Thunder, gain 2 attack weight and deal 45%. If this unit has Thunder, deal poise potency, and if it has High Thunderer, poise potency plus poise count. Okay, now the number is actually starting to look like a good skill 2. Target randomly for a 4+4. If this unit has Thunder or High Thunder, gain 2 attack weight. So that's 7 attack weight. 2 base power. 6 plus 12 to 18. Coin power, oh boy. That's 24, so it is actually worth it by that point. Well, we never got a boost to Thunderer though. Deal pride damage. We also never got a boost to this. This unit has higher than poise potency plus count. Inflict 2 sinking count. How nice of you to take this long to get to that. Like I said, we weren't going to get into the story today. And finally we have Gregor. Unbrilliant Glory. That's a big sword. Unclashable. When used for the first time in battle, consume 1 fewer wrath, 2 fewer sloth, and 1 fewer pride. So you just need wrath, sloth, and pride to start this attack. But it costs 30 SP, so be cautious. This does not hit an enemy, does not trigger defense skills, external effects cannot reuse the skill. At 1+ man in scabbard, activate Unbrilliant Glory Incandescence instead. Max stack of 40. For every stack divided by 8, gain an aggro. This only affects the leftmost skill. For every stack divided by 20, gain protection. Round it down, it's a max of 2, gain 10. You know, I was thinking 10 stacks at turn end, but no. That's a lot of stacks. It only takes 4 turns for him to be fully amped. 20 per turn is kind of interesting though, so it's probably going to get more. After attack, gain a man in scabbard. Heal 25 SP and gain offense level up. So for 1 Wrath, 1 Sloth and 1 Pride you can start this attack. And it only costs you 5 SP. At 40 man in Scabbard base power +1. But okay. Unclashable. External effects cannot trigger this effect to be used. At 40 man in Scabbard become clashable, so you have to actually wait those turns before you can use it. At 40 man in Scabbard, until this unit ends, we cannot be staggered and we gain 20 clash power. Wait, 20 clash power, 30 plus 5. Okay, we now have a new high clash ego. Although it's not on demand like you'd want ego to be. But 20 clash power is very impressive. Consume all man in Scabbard, gain the following effects. Recuperate 1 ego resource for every 20 consumed. Pride, then Wrath. So it's not going to help you with charging up Sloth. For every stack consumed divided by 10, gain attack weight to a maximum of 4. For every stack consumed divided by 10, gain defense level, but only once per turn. Although they did just say you can't reuse the skill. If 40 stack was consumed, the 4th coin deals 50% damage. Gain 2 protection. Deal extra damage for every burn and tremor on the main target. Heal 5 SP for every target that was staggered or killed. So it can actually refund most of the cost. That's handy. Gain a man in Scabbard. If this skill did not consume 40 man in Scabbard, gain aggro next turn. It's an unbreakable coin. I feel like this one... This feels like something that Zwei Gregor might like to have, but I can't be certain. Anyhow, reuse this coin based on how much man in Scabbard we consumed, to a maximum of 3 times. Inflict a burn and a tremor. In mirror dungeons, that'll be a lot more. On hit without cracking, if this is the final coin, if they have 15 potency, trigger tremor burst then reduce tremor count by 1. If this coin was used 4 times, deal sloth damage equal to tremor on target. And for a corrosion, 20 minus 4. Target randomly. Gain base power if we have a man in Scabbard. Consume all man in Scabbard and gain the following effects. Gain defense level up. Gain protection. Deal extra damage per tremor and burn. Gain a man in Scabbard. After attack, base power minus 4 for every cracked coin, because that's just how negative unbreakable coins should work. If 40 man in Scabbard was consumed by this skill, the leftmost skill on the dashboard gains 8 aggro next turn. Unbreakable, 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 5 burn, 5 tremor. If target has 15 tremor potency, trigger tremor burst, then reduce the target's tremor count by 1. So it actually doesn't care about these coins, it's just this one. Passives is what we get from this. Gain a man in Scabbard when meeting one of the following conditions. For all the HP damage taken from getting hit. From shield HP taken from getting hit. But keep in mind that it takes more shield HP than actual HP. Gain 10 per staggered allies when other allies are staggered. Gain 20 when other allies are killed. If staggered due to damage, then this unit has 40 plus man in Scabbard. Fix all of this unit's resistance values to 2. But recover from stagger, unless it's a 4 stagger and only once per encounter. Okay, I get what that is. It's basically saying you take damage as if you were still staggered, but you still get to fight back. But only if you have lots of man in Scabbard. Okay, so upgrading his skill 1 to gain 2 offense level instead of 1. coins start if this coin isn't cracked, if it targets 3+ enemies. Final coin to be used deals extra damage. Each part counts as one target. Inflict a burn and a tremor. When attacking 3+ coin targets, if 1 to 3 hit without cracking, the final coin deals extra damage. Once per coin. Each part counts as one target. It's half an hour and we haven't even gotten to see the content, sorry. Okay, and then finale. Final upgrade, gain offense level and a damage up. Okay, this coin deals 100% more damage at 40 stacks on the 4th coin. Deal 20% damage if this coin isn't cracked. And we have lots of targets. Right, because it's going to reuse itself for 4 coins. Deal up to 10 sloth damage if we are used 4 times. I feel like these are very harsh limits on sloth, on the sin damage dealt by these ego, but they do have plans for an uptie 5. The final coin deals 30% damage. Deal 160% damage. Okay. Let's skedangle. We won't look at Ishmael's because we don't have it. So, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around. We'll figure out how they got involved in the city later.
가끔 그런 생각이 들곤 하지. 대가리 꼭대기 위에서 빛을 내리쬐고 있는 태양. 저놈의 빛이 그 아래에 있는 모든 걸 경멸하는 것 같다고. 기분 나쁘게 말이지.